If love endured that ancient cross, how precious is my Savior's blood. Your beauty of heaven wrapped in my shame, the image of love upon death's frame. If having my heart was worth the pain, what joy could you see beyond the grave? If love found my soul worth dying for, how wonderful, how glorious, my Savior's scars, victorious, my chains are gone, my debt is paid, from death to life, and grace to grace. If heaven now owns that vacant tomb, how great is the hope that lives in you? The passion that tore through hell like gold, the promise that rolled back within its stone. If freedom is worth the life you raised, where is my sin? Where is my shame? Jesus, if love paid it all to have my life, how wonderful, how glorious, my Savior's scars, victorious, my chains are gone, my debt is paid, from death to life, and grace to grace. When I see that cross, I see freedom. When I see that grave, I see Jesus. And from death to life, I will sing your praise. In the one, come on, you sing. When I see that cross, I see freedom. When I see that grave, I see Jesus. And from death to life, I will sing your praise. In the water to rock your voice. When I see
My chains are gone. My debt is paid. From debt to life, grace to grace. Good evening, New Season Gospel FM family. And welcome to another episode of Faith Matters with me, Mnena. It is always a pleasure to come on and reflect on our daily Christian walk. How are we being Christ's hands and feet? How are we shining His light brightly for others to see? I pray that you've all had a wonderful, wonderful start to the week and your day has been amazing. It is always a pleasure, like I said, to come on and reflect with you. I want to take the time to say thank you and good evening to family who have joined in on 89.1 FM. Thank you all so much for coming on. To family who are streaming at newseasonfm.com. Thank you so, so much. And of course, our YouTube and Facebook family in the room. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, yay, yay. Good evening. Miss you on this side, but I'm glad you're getting much deserved and needed rest. Good evening, Sister Julia. Good evening, Reverend Crescent. Good evening, Sister Laurel. Brother Donovan. Good evening, Akil. I saw you somewhere there. Good evening, Sister Grace. Sister Anne Marie. Good evening. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming on. If this is the first time you're coming on, take the time to share, invite someone to come on. I might have a few nuggets that might be helpful to apply in your life. Faith Matters is a platform where we reflect and talk about our daily Christian walk. I do most of the talking, but just how being Christ's hands and feet is going, how we're supposed to do it. It's not a walk in the park because people think that when you say you're Christian, it's like, oh, everything is just rosy, rosy. Not the case. It's not a walk in the park. It is definitely, definitely only by God's grace. That's why we are able to do what we do. We would not be able to do on our own. And so I just want to again say thank you. Thank you for coming on. Before I jump into it, I want to take the time to say thank you to our supporters. It's because of your generosity that we're able to do what we do. We will not be able to spread the word in this fashion through this medium if you were not there supporting us, holding holding our hand along this way. And so I just want to say thank you. And I know I speak for the entire team when I say we are extremely grateful for your support, your financial support, and of course your prayers as well. If you haven't supported financially, I'd like to just ask you to prayerfully consider being a supporter of the station today. There's different ways to do so. You can do so through Zelle. For Zelle, it's 954-536-1821. Again, that's 954-536-1821. You can also do so through Cash App. For Cash App, it's the $ New Season WC. That's the $ New Season WC. You can go straight to our website, click on the give/donate button, and it'll take you right to the page where you're able to give. If any of those don't work for you, not to worry. You can always go straight to our website, newseasonfm.com. Or, like I said before, but if any of those don't work for you, you can just simply write us a check. Yes, we do accept checks. Write us a check, mail it out to 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. Again, that's 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. So those are the ways that you're able to give. And if you know in your heart of hearts that you're not able to financially be supportive in this time, please, please, please continue to support us with your prayers. We do need the prayers to just keep running and carrying on with everything that God has placed in our hearts to do. And so we just want to again say thank you. I know I speak for the entire team. Good evening, Sister Stacy. Thank you for coming on. So jumping into it again, like I said, if this is your first time, Faith Matters is a platform where we reflect on our daily Christian lives. How are we being Christ's hands and feet? Are you just that Sunday Christian who, right after church, you're like, boom, you slip out of your shoes, your Sunday shoes, or your Sunday outfit, and you're into something else? That's not the case. You should be Christian 24/7. It should be. It's in your DNA. It should be in your DNA, wherever you find yourself. at the store, at the gas station, at the park, just wherever you find yourself, we are called to be Christians. And so, jumping into it, of course, I said I'm not counting days just yet, because you all know I count the days. I talk about how many more days left in the year, but we're still in the 300s, and that's all I'm going to say. We're still in the 300s, and we're kind of going to keep it at that for now. But it is the ninth Monday of 2023. It's going, people. It's going to be before you know it. We're at the end of the year again. And we're like, how do we get here? But anyway, so it is the ninth Monday. We're still celebrating Black History Month. It's also Library Lovers Month. I am a huge fan of the library. I love books. I think the library is one of my to-go places. I would be fine if you just threw me at the library and be like, okay, hey, I'll come back and get you, I don't know, like at the end of the day, or just spend the entire day there. That would be me. I know I'm not that fun. But Library Lovers Month. It's also Vegan Cuisine Month as well. Also, jumping into my holidays, it's Monday. It's International. Okay. For those of you who are new and kind of wondering why she's talking about holidays, it's just the fun part, the quirky part of the show where I just talk about different holidays. There's a holiday for every single day. There's some holidays that we know about, some we don't know about, and I just share those with you. It's kind of fun, and you can pick whichever one is like super super weird to you, and you want to run with that. You know, be my guest. So today is International Polar Bear Day. It's Protein Day. It's No Brainer Day. Oh, that's a no brainer. I know we've heard that so many times. It just simply means, something's easy, or it's obvious, or it should be easy to figure out. It's logical. So when you say, oh, well, that's a no brainer. So today is the day where you're for doing no-brainer things. So it means that you really shouldn't be thinking too much in order to carry out a task. For those of us who overthinkers like me, like constantly like, oh gosh, do I do this now? No. Today is a day where you're like, it's a no-brainer. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So anyways, hopefully you're able to do that. If you can apply it to tomorrow. I give you the go-ahead to use that for tomorrow if you want to. It's also World NGO Day. Celebrating NGOs out there is Retro Day. National Retro Day, actually. It was created for us to look back at the back to the times, or back on the times when, we didn't have smartphones. We didn't have, just what the world is today. Like, this is not, I didn't think the world would be like what it is right now. But now with all the technology, with the internet, social media, it just helps us, or it calls us to look back to simpler times. And it also encourages us to spend simpler time, spend quality time with family and friends, and not post those quality times that we're spending, because many times we try to spend those quality times, but of course we again get onto social media, and we're like spreading all those, hey, look at me spending quality time. I'm guilty of that too, so just speaking to everyone tonight. So that's what Retro Day is. It's National Strawberry Day, so for all those strawberry lovers out there, number one here, thank you again, Sister Stacy, for the strawberries you brought. So it's National Strawberry Day. Knock yourselves out if you love strawberries. Tomorrow is Car Keys and Small Change Day. So what do car keys and small change have in common? Pockets. I did not know that, because that was a weird one for me. I'm like, what in the world? But it's Car Keys and Small Change Day. What do they have in common? Like I said, they're often kept inside our pockets. And so tomorrow actually being the 28th, they're celebrating when people started using pockets. When a few holidays cite that that on February 28th in 1590, pockets were invented. They're a little iffy on the dates there, so I'm like, okay, they're kind of trying to do their homework. But anyways, so it's Pocket Day. It's also Public Sleeping Day tomorrow, Tuesday, is public sleeping day. So when you think of sleeping, of course, you're thinking of your warm, cozy bed, and you just want to curl up, under your blankie and just take a nap or just take a deep, deep snooze. But public sleeping day, it means that you sleep in public, like where you would least expect to find someone sleeping. That's where you should sleep or decide to take a nap. Don't know how I feel about this one. That's kind of like on the weird side of things for me. So it says you can sleep in the park. You go to a park, sit on the park bench, and fall asleep. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. So let's find weird places, places to fall asleep or decide to take a nap. Yeah, that's definitely on the top on the weird list. It's chocolate souffle day tomorrow as well. It's science day. It's tooth fairy day. So for um, those with kiddos out there who still believe in the tooth fairy, well, celebrate tooth fairy tomorrow. It's rare disease day. Wednesday is horse protection day. Horse protection day. Peanut butter lovers, it's your day on Wednesday. I love peanut butter. So, all peanut butter lovers out there, it's your day on Wednesday. It's wedding planning day. So, if he put a ring on it, it's time to start planning that D-Day. Wednesday, you start to do that. It's refired, not retired day. So, for all the senior citizens out there or those who are thinking about retirement, so sometimes, you're at that age, but you're not really a senior citizen, but you're at that age of retirement. You say, listen, I'm retired. I'm refired. I'm not retired. It just means that you're still able to do other things, or you're kind of like doing something else. You're refining yourself and turning into something, or just getting involved in different passions that you have. So refired and not retired day. Self-injury awareness day. It's share a smile day. I love this one. Share a smile day. I talk about just giving a smile. Sometimes a smile is all that it takes to turn someone's day around. So just giving that smile to someone, it's really, really important. So this for me will top the list for this evening for sure, and every single day. I think this should be an everyday holiday. It shouldn't just be something that should be just done on Wednesday. Every single day, we should give someone a smile. Stop bad service day for all those who are involved with customer service in whatever field, whatever area you are. If you deal with people, you deal with customers, it's really important to just give good service. Again, share a smile can go hand in hand with this one. Just share a smile. Just give, when you're doing your work, when you're performing your task, or just carrying out your duties, carry it out with a smile on your face, in a professional manner. Just be kind, be nice to the people that you service. It's World Compliment Day as well on Wednesday. This, I think, should be every single day. Give someone a kind compliment, a kind word, encourage them. You look nice today. You look really lovely. What a nice smile. And be genuine about it. Don't just say it for the sake of, just because you want to say it. But yes, it's World Compliment Day. So give compliments on Wednesday and every day. Thursday is International Rescue Cat Day. For cat lovers out there, I know I have a bunch of them on here. Akil is one of those calling you out. Yeye's with a cat right now. Sister Marcia is one who has, I don't know, about 3. Again, so International Rescue Cat Day. So for cat lovers out there, if you're looking for a cat, well, I don't know. I'm not a cat lover, so I'm going to just move along from this one. Again, I've learned not to dwell too long on cat stories or just how I feel about cats, because from past experience, every time I spend time talking about cats, I go home and they have a convention in my front yard. So yes, moving along. It's Banana Cream Pie Day on Thursday. It is Old Stuff Day. It's Read Across America Day. I love this one. This should be every single day. Read Across the Entire World Day. It's Teen Mental Wellness Day. This is important. It's super, super important. It's that we learn or just promote the awareness of just mental health and just take care of our mental health, especially our children and our teens. It's important to do that. Friday, 33 Flavors Day. So for all ice cream lovers out there, those of you who, for me, I'm very, very boring when it comes to ice cream. Like, I'm just like a vanilla chocolate girl. That's it. And that's about it. So all the other stuff, like you have so many different flavors, I really don't care for them. So I'm just I'll stick to my vanilla and maybe chocolate or mixed. Canadian Bacon Day as well. I'm a bacon lover. I love Canadian bacon. It's Employee Appreciation Day. Hopefully my boss is listening out there. I need to be oh, I'm kidding. I appreciate it every day. But it's Employer Appreciation Day on Friday. Appreciate your employers on Friday. It is Dress in Blue Day. I want you to be happy day on Friday. It's Cold Cuts Day, day for unplugging. I love this one. I'm going to be a huge advocate for this one. It's really important for us to unplug. We're so tied into technology right now. We all have a device, and constantly we're on the phones. We're doing this. We're sending text messages. We're responding to emails. We're checking this and that. So we're always on the phone, and we're watching TV. So there's always something. A computer. We are always plugged in. So Friday is the day where we take the time to just unplug. I think it's important for us to do. It's helpful for us to do this for our mental state as well, to just really take the time to just say, okay, I'm going to unplug right now. I'm not going to look at the phone. I'm not going to watch TV. I'm not going to go on the computer. I'm not going to do anything related to technology for just, for a little bit. Start off with a little bit. I'm not going to say, the entire day, but just start off, just little baby steps. That's what we need to do. It's Wildlife Day on Friday as well. And of course, this should be every single day, World Day of Prayer. World Day of Prayer on Friday. And those are my holidays for the week. Pick whichever one speaks to you, and you're more than welcome to run with it and apply it every single day if you wish, or celebrate it on that particular day that it falls. So what are your little wins? What are your little wins? If you're just joining in, this again is Faith Matters with me, Mnena. Just reflecting on our daily Christian life. I talk about things that happen to me, or just thoughts that I have when I'm just going through life, or reading the scriptures, and I write things down. I just reflect on just my world in general. So what are those little wins that you have? Can you celebrate little wins? I say all the time here, like many times we're thinking of when we set goals for ourselves, or when we're asked to share or to recognize some achievement, or something that has happened, or something that we've accomplished. Many times we tend to find it difficult to do that because we haven't seen that big thing, or that big goal that we've set for ourselves materialize, because we're just really expecting it, the gigantic thing that we hope for to come before we can actually say that this is what I've done, or I've been able to do this. But it's important for us to recognize the steps that we take towards achieving those goals that we set for ourselves, those baby steps that we're taking towards those goals. And so for those are little wins, the very little wins that amount to the big win, are just things that we need to really celebrate and glory in. So what are your little wins? It's interesting because I've been thinking about that many times in the past few weeks. Just what are my little wins? Because I'm also one of those who would. I had to learn to just really celebrate the steps that I'm taking towards achieving those goals, because I would want to see like that thing that I like, that I hope for, really be staring me right in the face, like, yes, it's happening, or it's happened, before I can actually say I've accomplished this. But I've learned to just slowly start appreciating those little wins. And just sharing just a little bit here, just some of my little wins. I've been able to read I would actually say 4 books since the year started. I'm super proud of myself. Since the start of the year, I've been able to read 4 books so far. And I'm just, I'm on my 5th one actually right now. And it's just interesting because I everyone knows here I talk about how much I love to read, but I never really get the chance to, or will I say never make the time to read as much as I would, as I would love. And so I decided to, just say to myself, like, hey, listen, you got to do this. You're going to have to find creative ways. You're just going to have to find ways of really making this happen. And one of the things that I did was just to take the time every single day, to you read a chapter or two chapters, set aside some time to do that, and I've been able to accomplish that. The book I'm currently reading now, is entitled "Traumatized: Identify, Understand, and Cope with PTSD and Emotional Stress," and the book is by Kathy Morton. A really amazing book, which of course I will share at some point, not tonight though, but once I'm done with it, just share thoughts from the book, because it's important for us to recognize the different types of traumas that we go through as individuals. Because sometimes when we think about PTSD or trauma, we're thinking, okay, someone who's gone to war, they've witnessed, a lot of traumatic situations, and then they come back and they are, just so they're affected by that. But that's not it. There's just so much that goes into that. Sometimes you might be traumatized of going through that, but you really don't even understand. And so, yes, Reverend Crest, and reading is good. It's really it just keeps your mind sharp. It just opens your eyes to just different worlds of thought, and just opens your mind to so many things out there. So I really encourage it, if you're able to. I mean, nowadays you can actually even download the Audible app. It's not a plug for them, but I'm just saying there are different ways that you can, just find creative ways of reading. If you do not have the time to just really sit down and flip through pages, which most of the times is the problem with a lot of people, especially those who are, just really tied up with work, just having busy schedules, and so it's really important. And like I said, I'm not going to touch on that tonight, but I will, once I'm done with the book, just really share insights from there, because I think, and like I say, every time I read a book, it doesn't matter, like I read different genres, like but every time I read from I read with faith eyes, just through the lenses of faith, and I'm able to apply, or try to apply, biblical principles, or just coming with a faith mind, or from a faith perspective, applying that into what I'm reading, the book that I'm reading. And many times it's just incredible how, when you do that, you see how the entire world is just really connected with, with biblical principles, if I should say that. Sometimes it's just that, we as humans tend to try to twist the truth, or manipulate the truth. But when you read, with faith eyes, you're able to see, you're able to get something that will enrich you spiritually, just whatever material you read out there. Well, I mean, be careful when I say whatever material you read, but things out there, you're able to get something that will help you grow spiritually, in decent material out there. So I've also been doing a better job at worrying less. So we're talking about wins. What are those little wins? So of course I mentioned reading. I've read 4 books so far. I'm on my 5th one. I'm super proud of myself. So another win for me is I'm doing a better job at worrying less. Number one worrier here, constantly worrying what could go wrong, what this isn't happening, da 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 da. So I'm that person who will, just work myself up about just sometimes just little things, little things. But I've been doing a better job at worrying less, and just not letting situations that are beyond my control get at me or eat at me, because what I've noticed in the past, or just throughout life, or life in general, is if you can't change a situation, if you can't control a situation, then there's really no point worrying about it. There's no point. I mean, you can worry from now until tomorrow, but if you have no control over it, then nothing's going to happen. So what's happening is you're negatively affecting yourself. Your health is being affected by that. You're affecting people around you, because you're in that mode, or in that mood where you're just so down, or you're so affected by your situation or the situation that's bothering you, that it's affecting the way you're reacting or you're relating to family and friends. And so I've been doing a better job at worrying less. I'm like, okay, can I handle this? Can I change anything? If I can, then boom, that's it. It could be a bill that needs to be paid, and you sit down there and you're worrying, oh my gosh, this is due today or it's due tomorrow. It's due tomorrow. I don't have this. I don't have this. What am I gonna do? I mean, if you have it, you have it. You don't have it, you don't have it. And so just really getting to that point where where you say to yourself, you know what, it is what it is. I'm going to just focus on things that are in my control, that I can actually physically control or just change. That would be, I just focus on that. But if it's something that you cannot control, if it's beyond your control, then yes, yeah, let go and let God. That's all you have to do. And I've been doing that. And I have to say that I'm so proud of myself. Not losing as much sleep. I'm not there yet, but I am, like I said, it is a journey. Not losing as much sleep that I used to, thinking or worrying about situations that basically were beyond my control. So those are just a few of my little wins. Hopefully, you have some as well that you can actually sit down, because it's really important for us to do that when we're able to just sit down and say, "These are my wins," because it helps you. It encourages you to say, "Okay, I'm doing good. I'm doing well on this journey." So you encourage yourself with those. Like if you sit down and be like, I've got one this, I've got two this, I've got three this, I've got four that. My goodness, I'm doing a great job. So you're doing great. You're doing great. Always remember that. You're doing great. If you take the time to take stock of where you're at, and the little wins that you have, just constantly plant them in front of you so that you can see them. When you feel discouraged, when you start to get discouraged, or when those old habits start to come in, then you look at those little wins and be like, hey, you know what? I'm doing great, and I'm going to keep working on this and keep walking towards this goal that I set for myself. So learning virtues in daily stresses. Life is stressful as it is, but again, this is also part of my little wins. Just really learning to enjoy. I don't know if enjoy is the word, but really to cope and to just learn to see what's in it for me, what's in the stressor that I'm facing, or what's in it in that situation, that complicated situation, or that uncomfortable situation that I'm in. What am I supposed to learn from that? There's always something. Whatever you're going through, there's always a learning thing factor in there. There's something that you can learn. So what are learning virtues in daily stresses? The past week, well, not this past weekend, the weekend before, we had I would say the carnival effect, the carnival experience. So in my kids' school, we had every year they have their annual, the church, All Saints has their annual carnival. So we had the carnival, and I mean, it was a draining weekend. I'm not gonna lie, because 4 days of being in a crowded place with a ton of people and pretty much just enjoying. I mean, enjoying for those who enjoyed rides, food, company, and all. And I know others hearing that would be like, yay, how fun. And I know my kids, of course, had the most exciting time of their lives so far, that weekend. But everywhere you are or you find yourself, there's always an opportunity to minister to people. I was exhausted. I'm still kind of like getting back to that point after that weekend. But in every situation or every place you find yourself, there's always an opportunity to learn, to get to learn from that experience or learn from that position that you're in. And also, it's an opportunity for you to minister to people around you. Again, remembering when I talk about being Christ's hands and feet, we're called to be Christians 24/7, not just on Sunday. So how do you behave in stressful situations or in places where there's a mingling of all kinds of people? Do you maintain your identity, or do you don on a different garment? When you find yourself in a crowded area, when you find your place where you find yourself in a place where there's just so many people, there's different people from all walks of life, do you maintain your identity or do you don on a different garment? One of my prayers in life, and every single day actually, is always for God to give me the wisdom to see and to also recognize and seize opportunities to minister and evangelize, basically just to shine His light. I would say I had a few of those at the carnival, which is why I say this was my carnival experience, learning virtues through stresses. But one was particularly poignant. It was towards the end of the second night, and I was, manning a post because as parents we're required to volunteer at the carnival, and so I was manning up my duty post, and a very upset woman brought a complaint to us about one of the ride operators being really nasty to the boy that she was with. Not sure what the relationship was, with her and the boy, but they were together. Anyway, she came to us saying that the ride operator had said some very nasty things to the boy and called him names, asking him to get off the ride because it was almost closing. So needless to say, she was livid. I mean, I was livid just hearing that. My heart was broken because here was this grown man, this old man, being mean to a child. I mean, basically bullying this child in front of many people. Not that it's okay to do it in private either, but he humiliated this child. So this woman is telling us about it, and the first thing she says was, this is a church, and such a behavior should not be allowed or tolerated on church grounds. Of course, we try to explain to her that, this person was not an employer of the church, but the staff of the carnival company that was hired. And she said, well, it's still reflected on the church. She said it's still reflected on the church and on us because it was our carnival. And she was right. She was absolutely right. And it got me thinking, how are we representing Christ? When people see the way you act and talk and dress and carry on, does it reflect Christ? What kinds of conversations are you engaging in? What words are coming out of your mouth? Are you giving a good example? Are you living a good example? What kinds of conversations are you engaging in? Are you actually representing Christ? So I'm sitting there and watching and listening to this lady, and I couldn't help but feel, just feel for her. Nobody should be spoken to in such a manner. To be disrespected like that, let alone a child. And what she said broke my heart further because, she said that, the kid said, please, let's go. Like when this old man, said those nasty things to the child, and they were trying to say, hey, you can't speak to him like that. This boy was saying to her, please, let's go, don't say anything, I'm used to being treated like this. I mean, this is a child who's being bullied and has accepted or decided to accept that that's the norm for him, that who he is. It was just so heartbreaking. He accepted that that's how he should be treated. Do you know who you are? And it just got me thinking, because that really broke my heart. And I said, no, you cannot think that. You cannot believe that. And I posed this question to everyone, and tonight, and of course to him, I posed the question that night. I said, do you really know who you are? How many times do we just sit back and let things happen to us, or let people disrespect us or treat us a certain way, and we just say, no, it's okay, that's how they are, or I'm used to it, oh, it's not going to change, and so on and so on. But it boils down to the fact that, are we sure, are we certain, are we confident in our identity? Because if you know who you are, you'll be able to stand with your head high. and you'll be able to say it doesn't matter what somebody says to me. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I am precious in the sight of God. I know that I've been fearfully and wonderfully made. I know who I am a child of God. And when you have that knowledge, when you have that confidence in that identity, in your identity as a child of God, then nothing that anyone says to you will even shake you, because you're like, okay, it really it will hurt, but at the same time it just like, it rolls off, because you know that on the inside, in your core, that that's what they say about you is not true, because that's not your identity. So here was a child who accepted, or was accepting, of what somebody else was saying about him, or how somebody else treated him in such a disrespectful manner. And I said to them, I said, please don't let the enemy win, because they were like, oh, we're not coming here again. We bought the wristbands to come all for the 2 days that were left for the carnival, but now we're not gonna come back again. We're not coming back tomorrow, because he doesn't want to. Because of what happened to him, he doesn't want to come back here again. And he was having so much fun. We only went on 4 rides. And I said to them, I was like, please do not let the enemy win here. Don't let the enemy win. I said, come back tomorrow. It's not about the money, because they did ask for a refund. I was like, it's really not about the money, but it's just about you knowing who you are. Because if you don't come back tomorrow, if you don't come back because of what somebody said to you, then you're letting him steal your joy, because he said he didn't want to come back. I'm like, if he doesn't come back, that he's allowed this man to win. He has allowed the enemy. He has allowed this man to steal his joy. To just, how many times have we given up, as as children of God, just as adults, as just in our lives in general, and things that happen to us? How many times have we just given up? Have we said, oh, because they've done this to us, or because they've said this, well, that's it, we're just going to give up. We're not going to, we're not going to come back there again, or we're not going to go back there again. We're not going to carry on because of what was said. Don't let the enemy win. Don't let the enemy steal your joy. And so I spoke to them about it, and I was like, I really prayed that, I don't know if they came back the following day, but I'm hoping they did. But it was just interesting to see how it all worked out. Again, going back to my initial statement where I said I always pray for God to give me opportunities to minister to people whenever, and to recognize and seize those moments, and just jump on them. And so to have that situation, it could have gone so differently. But it was interesting to see that at the end of the conversation, she was super, super upset. She was shaking. But after the conversation, after the time that I spent with her, just, talking to her and saying, hey, listen, don't let the enemy steal your joy. And I just really ministered to them in that moment. And she left, and she did say, she said, I feel more at peace leaving, living here tonight. I'm not angry anymore. And I just said, God, thank you for, just using me in that moment, and you just having your way, and just ministering to those people at that time. And so it's important for us to recognize our surroundings, and just always have that disposition of, knowing when the spirit is ready to use you in a situation. So we have to be attentive to our environments. We have to be attentive to the Spirit. We have to always ask Him to open our eyes to recognize those moments and to seize those moments when He says move. You're like, okay, yeah, this is my time to go in. So it's really important for us to do that. And I'm really hoping that they were able to come back the following day. But it's important for us to recognize that we should always know who we are. We should know our identity. Don't let what people say to you, and teach our kids. We need to teach our kids. We really do need to teach our kids, because there's so much going on in the schools. And here's this child who, is being bullied at school, but isn't saying anything at home because they didn't know until that happened. And he said, it's okay, I'm used to it. This is, and it's like, that was when they realized that, he's being bullied at school. So things are going on in our schools, and our kids are just, not being some kids are not being nice, and it's really important for us to train our kids and to teach them, just to be kind. I say all the time, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Not mine, but Mother Teresa's words. But I love those words. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. It doesn't take much to be nice to someone. Just sit with someone. We teach our kids to, sit with that kid who's always by themselves. Sit with the kid who nobody wants to talk to. Just say hello. How are you? Are you okay? Be their friend. It's little things like that. You just sit and eat lunch together. If somebody's making fun, if another kid is making fun of another, you could easily just stand up to that kid and say, hey, don't do that. Speaking up is another way of just really, standing up for somebody and showing love, showing you care. Because if they see or hear somebody else stand up to someone to try to stop it, you don't have to be powerful to say, hey, don't do that, or that's not a nice thing to say. You don't have to be powerful to do that, and you don't need to engage in any fist fights or anything. You just have to, if you see someone being nasty to another person, you say, that's not right, don't do that. And it's little things like that. And if we start to teach our kids, then they grow up into adults who are respectful of other, other adults or other human beings, and not, growing up into, because bullies grow up into, bullies, like that old man. And it's so sad. It's so sad. And we really need to do our part in making sure that we teach our kids just how to behave and how to treat others, how to be kind. How to be kind. It doesn't take much. Just a kind word to someone, a smile, just little things like that we can do in order in order to teach our children. And of course, and jumping into a different part of reflection tonight will be, there's no way I'm going to leave tonight without just touching a little bit on the Lenten journey, the Lenten season. So the Lenten season is in full swing, of course, with Ash Wednesday last week. Lent affords us the opportunity to deeply reflect on our salvation and on God's love for us. Many times we hear people say, oh, I'm giving this up for Lent. Oh, I'm giving that up for Lent. But my thing is, if you're making all those sacrifices, first off, the question is, why are you giving something up? Why are you doing something different? Why are you going the extra mile? What is the reason behind what you're doing? So it's important for you to recognize why you're doing what you're doing, why you're giving up what you're giving up for Lent. And it shouldn't just be just Lent, like after the 40 days you go back to what you used to be. No, it should be something that, good evening, Sister Janet. It should be something that's ingrained in you after the 40 days. So if you're making, for me, if you're making those sacrifices, if you're taking all of those steps just for a show, then the whole aim is defeated. So the Lenten season affords us, like I said, the opportunity to deeply reflect on our salvation, to reflect on God's love for us. God so loved the world. He loved you and me and everyone in the world. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. He sent Jesus down to die for us because he loves us that much. And so take the time during this season to just deeply reflect on that salvation, on your salvation. I'm reflecting on my salvation. How am I doing this? Of course, it's a personal decision, whatever you decide to do, however you want your journey to be. You can decide to give up something as your penitential act. You have to follow it up with a deep desire to grow in Christ. You have to follow it with it should be rooted in that deep desire of getting and growing into a deeper relationship with Christ. use this time to grow deeper in prayer, to just get at your core, be in tune with the Spirit. The different things or different ways that you could do this, just be a little nicer if that's a challenge for you. If you're that person who finds it a tad difficult to be nice, try to be a little nicer if it's a challenge for you. And that's that for me. That would be a great Lenten observance. If you say, okay, if you have that person that, I mean, you see someone who's in need. That this is for people who can't be nice, or who find it a little challenging to be nice. You see someone walk in and you're like, okay, you can't find anything nice to say. You could just say, oh, I love the way that dress looks on you. I mean, again, let me take that back away, because you have to mean it, though. You have to mean it. Just try to say something nice to someone. There has to be something that you would find to say to someone that would be nice to someone. I mean, there's always something. Try to be creative. Go the extra mile. Open a car door for someone. Hold the door for somebody. Let someone go in front of you if you're in line at the checkout register. You can let someone go at the traffic light. You're in traffic. Many times they're driving and you don't want to let someone get in front of you, because, oh no, God forbid that they get in front of me and then I'm late to wherever I'm going. But being nice on the roadways, just slow down, let someone get in front of you. Don't give anyone the side eye. Anybody who cuts in front of you and you're like, oh my gosh, is this driver is crazy. I do that quite a bit, especially when those crazy people turn, or when you overtake someone who's really, really going super slow, and you're like, you go past them and you give them that side eye, like, seriously. Try to be nice on the roadways. It's little things like that in your everyday life, so it shouldn't just be, because our whole lives we're Christians. We're called to be Christians 24/7. So everything that we do, just on the roadways. We're called to be Christians. Just be nice on the roadways. If you can't think of anything nice to say to someone, in person, you can try to be nice on the roadways. You can try to be nice at the grocery store. Go the extra mile for someone. Are you able to, say, hey, I'll go pick you up from, wherever. If they don't have a ride, you go pick them up. Say, for instance, church. You can pick someone up, give them a ride to church, and take them back home. If that's something, that's a need that's there. Go the extra mile. Try to visit someone, call someone, and have a conversation on the phone. Check in. Are you okay? Is everything going well with you? Have that conversation on the phone. Don't just text. I know I'm guilty of this many times, because I don't talk. I don't like talking much to people. And so I would, most times, just to check in, I will text. It's good to text. I mean, you better text than not checking in at all. But sometimes you just want to go that extra mile. Say for someone like me who, it's a chore for me to just carry a conversation on the phone. I'm like, okay, instead of texting, when I feel that urge to check in on someone and I just want to just text them and not, I'm like, I don't want to have a conversation with you, I'm going to take the phone and be like, okay, I'm going to call you right now, instead of sending a text message, because that's going the extra mile. That's doing something that's out of my comfort zone for somebody. So just think of creative ways. Try to tolerate those who you can't stand. Try to tolerate those you cannot stand. Please. I mean, if we're being honest, there's a few people in our lives that we can't stand. And that's just the honest truth. So for Lent, and just as a practice, try to tolerate those you can't stand, or those that you're constantly complaining about. Look at those people as your saint makers. Those are they're the ones helping you on this journey that you're on, your journey of, attaining glory. And so try to tolerate those you can't stand, by, when you see them, or when you're in their company, you just, you breathe and you say your silent prayers as you're interacting, or when they start to speak, and you're like, okay. And when the enemy starts to whisper in your ear, okay, okay, that's he's starting to say something, or she's starting to say something. Oh my gosh, she's so annoying, he's so annoying. And when those voices start coming at you, you shut them down and you say, okay, God, I'm giving this all to you. Help me right now. Help me through this. And then you say a prayer. You say a prayer for them. That's another way. That's another way to do it. If you're in company with, because some of those people that you're in company with many times is like you can't avoid them. You have to be. I mean, you're required to be together. So in that space, when you're feeling that way, you start to say a prayer, like pray for them, pray for yourself, and pray for them. Good evening, Sister Primrose. And that's another way of just really carrying on, or trying to find ways of engaging in some form of, Lenten act, your Lenten journey, tolerating those you can't stand. Because the enemy will come at you at all angles, especially during this time. The enemy doesn't, he's, I say all the time, he's not there to play. He doesn't think you're cute. He doesn't think, oh, it's all fine and dandy, I'm going to just relax. He doesn't relax. He does not take a break. He does not take a break. So he's going to come at you. He's going to come at you, and he's going to come with full force, with all that he has, to try to distract you and just throw you off course. So you also have to have your game, you have to have your game, everything together, and be like, okay, hey, this is it, this is it. So if they come at you, if you find yourself in a situation with annoying people that you have to be with, you can't avoid, then you just say, okay, I'm going to start praying right now. If the enemy starts to whisper those words to you, you say a prayer for them, you say a prayer for yourself, and you say, God, give me the strength, and you start praying for them. And you see how in that moment that you're doing that, it just really changes the entire situation. And so I just wanted to encourage you that with just little tidbits like that tonight. Hopefully you're able to take something tonight and you're able to run with it. Again, just remember that during this journey, during the entire journey, this penitential season, it's just for us to really grow in our faith. It's for us to just be cleansed. It's for us to reflect on how good God is, his unconditional love for us, his unconditional love for us. I mean, we can't even begin to express God's love. I mean, words cannot express God's love for us, but we know that he loves us unconditionally. So hopefully your takeaway today would be, of course, to just make those little steps, take those little steps into creative steps as well, into just really walking on this journey that you're on, this journey of faith, this Lenten journey, and of course beyond. Because at the end of Lent, at the end of the 40 days, it's not like, okay, I give up chocolate, or I give up smoking for Lent, or I gave this up, and then okay, 40 days are over, now it's Easter, so I'm gonna go back to what I used to do. That should not be the case. I give up eating this and that and that, and then, because if you do that without having the base as your base being, or your main goal being to grow into a deeper relationship with God, then that's useless. And so just wanted to encourage you with that. Do with whatever, do with the nuggets that I've shared tonight. However you please, apply them however you please in your lives. Hopefully you'll be able to grow as well on this journey with me, as we continue to shine God's light brightly for others to see, being his hands and his feet. So again, thank you all so much for joining me tonight on Faith Matters. I want to again thank family that have tuned in on 89.1 FM. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. I know that we do not see you on there, but I know that you're out there. But we do appreciate you. Thank you to family who are listening on newseasonfm.com. Thank you all so much. Of course, our Facebook and YouTube family in the room. Thank you, Sister Julia, for coming on. Thank you so much. Kind words. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sister Janet. Yay. Thank you as always. Sister Primrose, thank you for coming on. Reverend Crescent, I appreciate you. Laurel, love you, appreciate you. Akil, thank you. Sister Stacy, thank you for coming on. Brother Donovan, Sister Anne Marie, of course, Sister Grace again. Thank you all so much. Akil, thank you. I appreciate all of you. If you're on and you didn't say hi, but I wanted to let you know, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. I pray that the rest of your week will be blessed. It will be amazing. Remember to join us tomorrow morning at 6:30 for In His Presence, our morning devotion. Pastor Steve's show comes up at 8 a.m. tomorrow from 8 to 10. It's Turn Up Tuesday. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And of course, you're going to go after that, have an awesome day, circle back, and you're going to come back here and join us at 7:30 for Speak the Word with Reverend Crescent Hessen. Speak the Word tomorrow at 7:30. So I want to say have a wonderful night, everyone. Taking us out tonight, of course, we want a fresh wind to blow in our lives, especially during this time of Lent, that everything that we do, that God will be in it. We're calling upon Him to just really help us on this journey. So may the fresh wind of God blow in your lives, in your hearts, and it may touch others as well. Have a wonderful night and a great rest of the week. And I will see you all again next week, God's willing, same time, same station. God bless you.
Holy Ghost, breathe on us, we pray. As we repent, turn from sin, revival embers smoldering, breath of God, fan us into flame. We need a fresh wind, the fragrance of heaven. Pour your spirit out, pour your spirit out.